So, one of the things I bought from Nordstrom is a bone levy 14 karat gold heart flexible bracelet, and it was $1,520. And that's actually my birthday, so it's like they knew and they like priced it accordingly. Or maybe it's a sign that this is something Alyssa would like, so they price it at a way to tell, oh, this is something Alyssa would like. So if you want her style, because none of this was real and it's just a video game, then you might like this. And so they like look for things with like my codes in it. I mean, it's possible. I'm really, really tired, and I just wanted to do sort of a broadcast at 2 a.m. because I woke up to. Why is the lighting is like so. This lighting is so weird. Okay, so maybe it's a little too dark. It's just like a little brightness from this white on this web page. That's literally the light, where the light's coming from. It's not like a special light. It's literally just the white from a web page. The white background just like lit up the freaking thing. It's called color theory. Get a clue. Okay, so I'm being so quiet. I wonder if you guys can even hear me. I woke up to Mike arguing with my mother, or maybe both my parents, about this being a video game. And so like I woke up to like them telepathically fighting over walls. Again, my little brother's literally lives in California. He literally lives 3,000 miles away. And my mom lives in the bedroom right there. And they were arguing, and Mike was proving his point that this is literally a video game. And that they sort of have like their own video games, but that it's definitely a video game. And the more that they play their video games, the more that they manifest. And he was basically saying that's like sort of like the more they play it, the more it comes alive. Or the more they play their own unique video game, the more it manifests. And it's like we've been playing this capitalism video game for a really long time, and like we're really very bored of it, and so it's like glitching all over the place. And then Ryan Reynolds was saying to me, wow, we thought last year was scary. He's like, nothing was scarier than last year, huh, Liz? And nothing really scary happened last year except being poor, barely being able to pay rent, being stuck with people I don't like, and having to do that for the rest of my life until I retire. I mean, and that alone is like pretty scary, okay? Right? Like that's pretty scary. And here I am 1 year later, definitely not any more satisfied, definitely not any more happy, and actually maybe like I want to say 3 times more terrified maybe three times. I don't want to say 10 times more terrified because it does sound like the gray alien invasion, on steroids is coming. Um, and that's probably going to scare the crap out of us because it scared the crap out of us last time. So I don't want to say like I'm like super duper terrified right now, but like I'm definitely way more terrified than last year. And that's what me and Ryan were saying. Like, oh, we thought last year was bad. We thought nothing, could be worse than last year because of all the reasons I just described. And yeah, so I've been hearing so much movement. And oh, Mom also said, Mike, I think you're going to get evicted. And Mike said, evicted from what? And she said, evicted from the darkness or evicted from the shadow. Because we only own, and I was literally talking about this, and my mom thinks she owns the word evicted. So remember when we used to get like really scared of the word arrested? Um, and then we figured out the word arrested meant have a panic attack and get like captivated by Men in Black, aka the light, aka the spiritual realm. And now like we're not like terrified of that word anymore. So we're about to take back the word evicted. And I mean, who the fuck are these stupid fake government people like Kamala Harris to tell us, to get us worried about shit that I invented? I invented 3D capitalism. Stop scaring me with my own goddamn video game. I invented it. I invented eviction. Stop scaring me with my own goddamn video game. And anyway, Adam said that this show specifically, and me standing up for myself, has caused the fake government, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, to fall so super fast and embody like, because they were falling from power so super fast because I keep standing up for myself literally every single day, now twice a day, and now doing it 3 times a day just to see what will happen. I guess like on Halloween night, because it's like 2 a.m. November 1st, so it's like Halloween party night, so there's like a lot of magical stuff going on right now. But it's like, let me see how I wrote it down. This happened because I stood up for myself, and it caused the Atlanteans to stand up for themselves. So because I started standing up for myself in a very big way on this very lo-fi broadcast show, it caused them to stand up for themselves and to match me to fight for their power because I'm fighting for my power, right? But their power is fake power. Their power is fake capitalism. Their power is fake democracy because I'm the only one. I'm the real molecule. I'm the real thing. I'm the real molecule. And that makes me real God. And everything that Kamala and Joe Biden stand for are fake. It's fake. It's a fake video game. It's fake video graphics in a video game. That's all Kamala and Joe Biden are. And that's all capitalism is. So it made them start to take a stand. A fall from grace into hell, and it made them take a big stand um, in another, in an Atlantean way of fake power, and it's making them embody it because I'm embodying it, and they kind of have to match it to stay in power, but they're not going to win because it's fake power and I'm the real power. And it is sort of like kind of causing me to break my own video game, which I don't like. Like, I don't like saying like I'm the only real thing, but when we have people usurping the power over us and not using it for good, I have to say the truth. I have to pull the curtain back and say the truth that all of it is me, Alyssa Janello, the one molecule, and there's nothing else. And I deserve all of the outright power in the world, as well as all of the outright money in the world, because I am the one true real thing that, and nature is always listening to me, and the natural laws are always listening to me and always obeying me, and so are the natural aliens. They are always listening to me and always obeying me, and they are always safe also, by the way, because I'm hearing movement. I'm hearing movement in my house at 2 a.m. And aliens are natural and they naturally obey me. I invented the Andromedans. I invented the Greys. They are literally my children and they do obey me and they love me and I love them. And it should be the same thing and it's the same thing for my animals. It should be the same thing for my mosquitoes, and it should be the same thing for my humans on planet Earth. You don't like my eyes glazing over because that's when I'm causing a storm to happen. That's my natural bioweaponing. And you know it's going to cause havoc in the world. You know it's not caused by global climate change or global warming. It's literally caused by my eyes glazing over and my storm capabilities. And I would love to give them to their rightful owner. I don't need to own every single superpower in the world. I'd like my team, please. I smelled like a weird skunk / coffee smell. It was really pungent. It was definitely a phantom smell. It's definitely popping nature / coffee / pungent odor. Um, the things that I'm hearing this year are just so freaking shocking that it's like last year I can't believe it, like last year last year was the first year of the church and I was still having exposure therapy, and I have talked about exposure therapy on here before, but it's basically like an absolute horrible humiliation ritual that you hear in your head. I think that's sort of like what people would call um, like a schizophrenia break, if, but a it's actually a term used by the U.S. government and the U.S. military, and it's actually a tactic deployed by the U.S. government on our own troops. But if it comes from a disembodied voice, I think that's what somebody would call like a schizophrenic episode, because it's when you hear like the meanest, nastiest things about yourself. And I was still having um, and it's called exposure therapy, and you can Google it, and it is a military tactic, okay? And I was still having exposure therapy last year, in the beginning of last year, the crossover from the state to the church, because the state was, let's like calm down and relax. And if you can calm down and relax and you can hold the state, if you can hold the peaceful, relaxed state, it'll keep you out of that vibration. And I had to train myself to keep myself in that vibration during the state. Everybody in the know had to train themselves to keep in that vibration during the state. Okay. So, like, if you're a smart person, you know everything I'm talking about. If you're a dumb person, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay. So, when you get nervous, when you get nervous and when you get to contract is when you start to hear like all these negative things about yourself. So that was during the state. I'm not going to say that was the purpose of the state because I don't believe in this kind of stuff. I don't believe in this. I think that's a part of the fake 3D matrix. And anyway, can you imagine how many people die because of exposure therapy every year? Don't veterans have PTSD? I wonder why. So, anyway, that was going on since the beginning of last year. Sorry, that only ended the beginning of last year. And that only ended when Brandon Lee walked in. And there's no exposure therapy this year, but there might as well be. There might as well be. Okay? It's not just like, putting me down with like the worst absolute things you can think of. It's just so bad. It's just so bad that it's just like, someone please wake us up from this nightmare. And it'll happen when I'm just like really chill and relax. So it has nothing to do with me being nervous, right? It has nothing to do with me being nervous. It's like they'll just say stuff telepathically to me out of nowhere, which is just ridiculous. Plus, they'll say things to me using their mouth, which is just completely like a watershed moment. And it's just like, what? What? Like crazy, crazy things. Like, you are going to be a crazy cat lady with 10 cats. Like, what? You're never going to find anyone that wants to marry you. And you're going to end up alone as a crazy cat lady with 10 cats. And they use their mouth for that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, wow. I feel bamboozled. Yet again. And Adam thinks it's because I've been standing up for myself, and it caused the chain reaction of the Atlanteans to stand up for themselves, and it caused them to fall. That's crazy. I don't. I mean, aren't you like usually super nervous and scared? Like, I don't even know what to say when you say that, because like, obviously this is like going on everywhere. There's that's like another thing that's coming, or like we think is coming, like the downloads of like the yellow house are coming, I think. And it's like our magical house looked for the perfect like spot on planet Earth to settle down, like all over the world. And like we couldn't find it. Do you think they said trust your walk in because they were trying to get the kids to trust their negative walk in? Who's ever saying that? Like, can you just like surrender to Krista, please? Because I don't know, maybe it is, but I'm like, it sounds like condescending and like I'm not supposed to talk about it or whatever. And it's like, I am supposed to talk about it because you guys need to be held accountable for like the things you say and the things you do. And like, you think you can just like keep getting away with like being the like worst people in the world because like it's a private conversation, and it's never a private conversation, is it? Nature is always listening. Brandon's always listening. Max is always listening. The energy is always listening. The conglomerate of energy is always listening. You're never telling off the one molecule. You're telling off a conglomerate of energy. Um, Alyssa, I don't know what to say to you anymore, except that's crazy. It sounds like you are a really bad friend, and you shouldn't be my friend anymore. You shouldn't listen in anymore. Okay? Okay? You got it? Can she even afford to live here? Can the queen of everything even afford to live here? Man, I hope they pull a rug out from under them. I cannot stand those battle cats.